When you think of a professional athlete, who do you think of? More importantly, what sport do you think of? Maybe the National Football League, or maybe the National Basketball Association. What about gymnastics or bodybuilding? What is bodybuilding, and is it a real sport? One of the generation's greatest competitors, Kaya Green, vividly describes bodybuilding. He says, "Bodybuilding is an art. Your body is the canvas, weights are your brush, and nutrition is your paint. We all have the ability to turn a self-portrait into a masterpiece." So the question remains, are bodybuilders athletes? And is bodybuilding a real sport? Yes, bodybuilders are athletes. The American Sports Committee defines an athlete as a person who is proficient in a particular sport and/or other forms of physical exercise. It is fact that most athletes use weight training to improve strength and potentially better their performance. Bodybuilders do the same thing. Some may argue that not all bodybuilders are good athletes, but aren't most good athletes bodybuilders and weightlifters? Every professional sport has coaches specifically designated to keep athletes strong and in top condition. Most of this is done in the weight room or on a track. Bodybuilders do the same. They have coaches and training partners that help them in and outside of the gym. Great athletes spend countless hours building their skills, reviewing film, and perfecting their craft. Bodybuilders do the same. They spend many hours in front of mirrors or watching videos, trying to perfect themselves through repetition and consistency, trying desperately to gain mental and physical muscle memory control of every muscle fiber in their body. Next, the underlying question: is bodybuilding a sport? What is the definition of a sport? The Oxford Dictionary defines a sport as an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Bodybuilding has been around for centuries, providing entertainment to thousands of spectators, curious to see the nearly perfect gladiator physique battle it out on stage. Some say the sport started with the Romans many centuries ago, who battled each other to death purely for entertainment. Nonetheless, it is an individual sport. One athlete competing with a group of athletes. One by one, they pick each other off until there is just one. There can only be one declared a winner. In a professional sport like baseball, they usually have a preseason, a regular season, and a postseason, and ultimately a World Series. In professional bodybuilding, there is a preseason, regular season, and an off-season, which usually works up to the biggest competition of them all, the Olympia. In each professional sport, there is a similar process that's established to seek out the best of the best athletes and teams, from the Super Bowl to the worldwide Olympics. To ensure the individual or team winner is chosen fairly, there are rules. In bodybuilding, just like other sports, these rules are strictly enforced. In baseball, they have umpires. In basketball, they have referees. In gymnastics and bodybuilding, they have judges. These judges enforce the rules and ensure each athlete meets the qualifications to participate. In my opinion, they are talented athletes, and bodybuilding, by definition, not only meets the criteria as a sport, it is one of the toughest, most difficult individual sports in the world. These athletes spend years chasing perfection, trying to do the impossible, to alter their own genetics and build the best physique in the world. So what is the actual comparison? What is the difference between a professional football player and a professional bodybuilder? Is bodybuilding a sport? Are bodybuilder athletes? I leave you with a quote from a man who has been there, who has made it to the top, a 5-time Mr. Universe and Olympia champion. Diverse in every aspect of his life, he has helped pioneer the fitness industry and once influenced the entertainment business, and now a devoted politician, the one and the only Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bodybuilding is much like any other sport, but it is also an art of science that can only be perfected by those that are willing to go through the physical and mental sacrifice. To be successful, you must dedicate yourself 100% to your training, diet, and mental approach. Arnold Schwarzenegger.